So, I have been a people pleaser my whole life. Ever since I was a kid, I was always very sensitive. I was very quiet, introverted, very shy. So, I was not a very overconfident kid when I was growing up. Now, initially, when I was at home with my family, things were fine. But the moment I started going to school, I realized wait, I am pretty different to all these other kids. These kids are like way more confident than me, and they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what to say, what to do. I have no idea. I don't have that kind of overconfidence inside of me. What started happening was that because of being very timid and shy, I was also very nervous around new people. I always desperately wanted to be liked by others. It was just naturally present in me as a kid, that desperate need to be validated by others. That was always existent. Now, because of all this, I became the perfect target for bullies. I don't think I would blame anyone for that. Maybe the circumstances were such, maybe my personality was such that I was extremely prone to nasty people. So, one of the harshest things that I realized growing up is that this world is actually not a nice place. And that's a good thing to realize early on, because if you don't, you're gonna have no barriers. You're not gonna have defenses. It's like if a country doesn't have boundaries, you're gonna get attacked. So think of yourself, think of your heart, think of your emotions, think of your whole being as like a country. You need to protect yourself early on. So the assumption that this world is not a nice place, especially for nice people, especially for empathetic people, for people pleasers, is a very good initial ground that you can lay, because then you're not going to allow people to walk over you easily at all. One of the biggest mistakes that I made was to assume people to be nice. And every time I assumed that, I saw the worst kind of person. I was cheated, I was used, I was made fun of. All kinds of things were happening because I was assuming that people like these had the same kind of empathy that I have for others. So usually whenever something bad happens to us as people pleasers, it happened to us because we didn't have our guards up. And we didn't have our guards up because we assumed that the other person in front of us also shares the same level of empathy that we share towards them. And see, this is why knowing the reality of people, knowing the reality of this world, how people are, is very important. So I would say study a lot of psychology. Human psychology is probably the best subjects to study if you're a people pleaser. So the first basis is to understand all of these people, their life isn't about being happy for others. Their life thrives on drama. Their life thrives on you feeling bad about yourself. They love it when you give up on yourself. They love making you feel ashamed of yourself. They love giving you self-doubt. And the biggest way that these people are controlling you is by giving you this fear that if you don't do XYZ, we're not going to sit with you. You're not going to be part of this group. We are not going to accept you. We aren't going to validate you. You're weird. You'll be alone. You'll be left alone. The biggest way you can counter this is to develop a relationship with yourself. Be alone. Now, a person who feels content being alone is someone you can't manipulate. One of the best things you can do as a people pleaser is to have so many hobbies that don't require others, is to try to find joy in being alone. Try to find, tasks that you can do alone. Try to find activities that you can do alone that you find so much joy in, that you stop relying on others for your happiness. Because that is where most of these people are trying to control you. As an empath, as a people pleaser, they want you to desperately want them. And the only way to take away that power from them is to be self-sufficient. And that means no emotional reliability on others. Your happiness depends on yourself. Your happiness depends on this universe, the connection that you have with God, the connection that you have with just existing. Life is beautiful. And the moment you realize that as a people pleaser, you are going to free yourself from all the pain that you've been carrying. Another thing that you need to do as a people pleaser is to be okay offending others. Yes, offend people, actively offend people, say things that are offensive, not in a way where you're trying to hurt someone, but you don't need to say things to make people like you. It's okay if no one likes you, that's fine. As long as you're not doing anything to hurt people, as long as it's not something that is actively affecting other people, hurting people, but actively taking decisions in your life that other people don't agree with. That can mean anything. Maybe it's a career path that nobody wanted you to choose. Now, you've got to decide to choose that for yourself, despite anyone, despite everyone. Maybe it's making a video on YouTube that you've always wanted to make, but you've just been too shy. Maybe you think other people are gonna laugh at you for making a video. Now, that's exactly what you're gonna do, because that's the kind of behavioral therapy that we want to do with ourselves. We want to do things that our brain tells us not to do, or we think we are afraid to do, or we think other people will be offended if we do it like that. That's exactly how you're gonna do things in life. You are gonna train yourself to think with your own brain, and that doesn't mean doing things left, right, and center that don't even make sense. Of course, use your brain, use your intellectual abilities, use your basic critical thinking skills to make decisions in your life. You can definitely listen to what other people might advise you. You can think about that advice, and if it doesn't sit with what you're thinking about yourself, you can kindly keep that aside without any grudges, but the final decision should be yours. You should be making decisions about your life solely based on your happiness, solely based on what's gonna bring meaning to you as a person. It's okay if people find it offensive. That's completely fine. Now, in my case, that was being a homemaker. No one agreed with this. Nobody wanted me to be a homemaker. Maybe they think I am not empowered enough to make this decision. I am probably gonna regret it. That's fine. It's completely fine. It's my life. I am okay making that decision, because that's something that I feel, no matter how much I've contemplated about this topic, I feel very connected to this way of life. Now, coming back to the behavioral therapy of it all, the more you do this, the more your brain realizes that you can make your own decisions and live by that decision. If you're an empath and if you're scared of making decisions for yourself, think about it. It's your life. This is the only life that you've got. That's what I had to tell myself. I had to think about my mortality so many times. I was like, I am gonna die one day, and I would rather do what I want and regret it later than not do it at all. Why would I waste this one life on someone else's fear about me, someone else's opinion about me, what other people want me to do? Why would I waste my life? If I am happy, that's all that matters. And rest is up to God, as they say. And the last thing that I want to say to all my people pleasers out there, all the empaths, all the people who are hurt, I know you have tried your best. I know you're still trying your best, but you gotta keep going. I beg you to never stop and never give up on yourself. The only person that can get you out of this trap of trying to be kind, trying to not offend people, trying to be in that good books all the time, but all you're doing in that process is suppressing yourself, suppressing the true self that lives within you, that wants to flourish, that wants to come out, that wants to be an individual. Why would you spend the rest of this life without experiencing that version of yourself who is confident, who is okay taking some space in the room, sitting in a room and being like, yes, I am here. Like, people should feel a little intimidated by you. That's completely fine. You should be confrontational. You should be able to say no to things that you want to say no to. Why are you constantly going back and forth in your brain about this? Just say no. So what we do as people pleasers is that we try to run away from this discomfort that, oh my god, it's awkward. Oh my god, what if I say no? Oh my god, what will they think if I don't pick up their phone? What happens if this, that, and the other? No, nothing's gonna happen. The world is not gonna collapse if you do something that you want to do. If you don't do that thing that you don't want to do, the world is gonna continue. Like tomorrow, think about it. If you die, the world is gonna still continue the way it is. So now that you're alive, maybe do things exactly the way that you wanted to. See how it goes this time. The funny thing is, the people pleaser wants people to sit with them, and it's because of this desperation that most people don't want to sit with you. People might keep you around, but that's not really sitting with you. The difference is that when you start becoming an individual, people are attracted to you like a magnet, and they don't even know why. They just want to sit with you. They just want to talk to you. And the reason why that is because you have got your power in your own hands. Everyone's curious why you're not begging for their attention anymore. Any individual that has ever come on this earth, anyone, be it great philosophers, be it great thinkers, great minds, why do people want to sit with them? Because they decided in the first place to sit with themselves and ponder about topics that no one wanted to think about. For example, someone like Carl Jung, he spent so much time in isolation, in solitude, to learn about human nature. And now everyone wants to know what Carl Jung discovered about human nature. So my final message in this video is, become your true self. Become so busy with yourself, with your life, with your thoughts, with your self-improvement journey, with your journey with God, whatever it is that you're interested in, whatever it is, become so busy within yourself that you don't need anyone else's approval. That's where you're missing out. And I'm telling you, I have been on the other side where I was people pleasing, and I am here on this side, and I would never go back. It feels so good to be an individual. This is actual freedom, and I would love my dear people pleasers out there to come out of that trap for once. Please stop people pleasing. It's time you end this cycle, and I wish you all the best and lots of love. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.